I'm trying to film this again because the first time I did it, I was so repetitive. I just couldn't I couldn't stop saying how much I loved it. So yeah, the only person that asked for this is my wife, but I'll do anything for them. So I'm gonna do a review on the best book that has ever been written in the entire world, Just Damage Blues by Leslie Feinberg. And this book holds such an important place in my heart. I never stopped thinking about it. It impacted me so much. It impacted literally like every butch lesbian I know has been impacted by this book in some way, because it's just, oh my god, I cannot explain how much I love it. I wrote like an entire speech on it. I'll try. Wait. Yeah, okay. I wrote like an entire speech on this, which I'm not going to read because it's really long, but yeah. It talks about a lot of really important things that I don't think are talked about much. Well, they are talked about. I don't know how to word it. I think this talks about it better than other things, in my opinion. First thing though is I would put a big trigger warning on this book for a lot of things. So homophobia, transphobia, racism, anti-Semitism, rape, suicide, alcohol, violence and police violence, and that's all I can think of. But it might be worth googling that if you think anything similar to that might affect you. It's not gratuitous. I think that's what that word means. I don't really know. It's all there for a reason. It's not there to like make it more exciting or anything, because a lot of media does do that, which is really disgusting. But it does it all for a reason. So, and it does it really, I don't want to, tastefully kind of doesn't sound like a good word to describe that, but appropriately and respectfully, or maybe better words. It talked a lot about the transience of relationships, which I know doesn't sound that interesting, but because this book takes place over the course... Where's my brother coming downstairs? I don't think so. Over the course of like 30 years-ish. So there's a lot of characters that come and go, and not a single one of them is shallow or underdeveloped. You care for each and every one of them so deeply, and they're all so well developed. I don't understand how, because it's not super dense. It's just so well written, and every character is important, but it's because I feel like there's this idea that every person in your life has to be in your life forever, and there are some people that I do want in my life forever. Like, I want my wife in my life forever, obviously, and there are a lot of friends that I do really want to know forever, but a lot of media I keep saying kind of, I'm so sorry, it puts across the idea that if you know someone and if you're close to someone, then you need to be with them forever, which sometimes that just isn't how things work out, and that's okay. And a lot of time you feel bad for drifting away from people, even when that was the right thing for both of you, because sometimes you do just grow apart from people. Sometimes just life circumstances move you apart from them. And another piece of media which I think does this really, really well is BoJack Horseman, which I also really love. It's really great. So you should watch that if you want. But this talks about it really well, and whilst also kind of showing the impact that each character had on Jess as the main character, on Jess's life, and because she has a lot of like preconceived notions. She isn't a flawless character, even though she's an amazing character, and her character growth throughout the book is amazing, and she learns something from like every character has a role, and also it ends hopefully. I don't really know if it ends happily necessarily. It's kind of hard to say, but it does end hopefully, which I think is really important as well, because a lot of media about queer people does end really sadly, and it just doesn't put you in a great mood. It's not great to be consuming that sort of stuff all the time, especially when you are queer. Like if you're straight, I don't care, but if you are queer, you need to like, it needs to be hopeful, because you know, life is hopeful and stuff does get better. And I think this book shows that even though things can be like really, really terrible, they can also be really amazing. And you know, just good stuff like that is, yeah. What else did I want to say? Oh, it talks about a lot of really important queer history as well. Like, especially lesbian and transgender history, which, along with all queer history, is so commonly erased. It talks about it really well, and from the perspective of someone who actually experienced it. And it talks about Stonewall, and it talks about the impacts of all these different things that happened from lots of different perspectives. And I think it talks about the intersectionality between like class, race, religion, sexuality and gender really well. And yes, it talks about everything really well. I cannot recommend this book enough. You can download it for free as a PDF from Leslie Feinberg's website, which is just lesliefeinberg.net. This one I bought from the publisher. You can buy the at cost author edition, which I bought this after I read it, just because I just loved it so much and I wanted to have a physical copy so I could annotate it. So at some point this year I am gonna reread it and annotate it. So yeah. Also, it talks about gender in the most amazing way, and it shows that it is so confusing, and like that's okay, and it's alright for it to be confusing, like you don't need to know. And wait, I'll find you a really good quote on it if I can remember what page it's on. I think it's on 160ish, but maybe I'm completely wrong. I'll try not to spend too much time trying to find it. So how's your day? How you're doing? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. It's taking ages to find it. It's a really good quote. I can probably just remember, who am I now, woman or man? That question can never be answered if those are the only options. It can never be answered if it has to be asked. I don't know if that's the exact phrasing of it, because I've just done that off the top of my head. But yes, please read it. Just do be careful of like the more graphic content, but if you're in a place where you can deal with that at the moment, then and feel free to like read it slowly. I did spend a while on this book and it was worth it, because it did just impact me so much. Like, it made me cry. And books, it's like rare for books to make me physically cry. They often make me feel like I want to cry, but this made me physically cry. Okay, that's it. I've been talking for like 10 minutes. So, yeah. I hope you'll have a nice day. Okay, bye.